Hello, everybody. Well, today I'm going to tell you what day it is. Today's Wednesday, February 2nd. And today is John Bob Millwright's birthday. So y'all don't forget to wish John Bob a happy birthday. Because, well, y'all know he's a buddy of mine. And we shoot the breeze and go on a lot and stuff like that. So to him, I said, I'll let everybody know it's John Bob's birthday. So for John Bob's birthday, we're going to change the cylinder on this 460. This is one we done the center cases and stuff a while back. Got it all put back together and it did not run right. And I don't know why it didn't run right. All I know is it didn't run right. So the cylinder does not look the best in the world. But it had been running, but it had an air leak and I think it stored it up some. I cleaned it up to see if it'd be alright, but it just didn't. It just did not do. So we're going to do it again with a different cylinder. I've acquired another cylinder, another OE cylinder. So I found one that was decent, so we're going to slap it on here, and if it don't run in, then there's something else going on. But it needs one anyway, so we're going to put one on it anyway. And Logan's here with me. Uncle Dave sitting back there. I'm trying to not make this take no longer than I have to, because I've got things to do, and I'm trying to get them all done. And I know I've been working on the wild thing. Y'all been enjoying that video. I ain't gonna lie, I enjoy doing it. But I was gonna film a little bit earlier. The fellas want me to build an air compressor for him. I was gonna film that, but I ain't seen the air compressor yet. So it's getting later in the day and I had to get something done. So we're gonna do this. Hopefully y'all enjoy it, and hopefully it'll run when we're done. That's the main thing, because I don't understand exactly why it didn't want to run when we got it done the last time, but well, sometimes things happen that way. We'll figure it out eventually. It could be something else causing the problem. I don't know. We'll find out when we get there. We'll know once we figure it out. How's that? Where'd that gasket go? It's still stuck on the cylinder. And it tore. Of course it tore. Why wouldn't it? Y'all know what that means. It means it ain't gonna have no exhaust gasket when it goes back together. That's what that means. Because we don't have another. Oh well. This is a buddy of mine saw that I built. Well, actually I guess it's still my saw. We sort of done a little trading, but not. It's alright. I still got the other saw. And we never could figure out what was wrong with it, but we're not overly concerned. We're not overly concerned about it. It is what it is. As long as we can get him something to run, that's the main thing. Y'all give me a minute, I'll get it took apart. Might have to fight with it for 30 minutes, but I can't always get the camera to move the direction I want it to go in. When I was doing, there's an intake boot clamp in there, and I like to cheat these things off here if I can. and not take all the stuff off. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Most of the time I get it to work. What have I done? Oh, I put Allen bolts in this one because I didn't have the right bolts. All of them but one. That's what it is. I'll get it off here in a minute. We're going to put the right bolts in this time. Well, we're going to put 4 in that match. How's that? Because I hate having to swap tools in the middle. But as long as we can get it off there, that's the main thing. And getting this turned where y'all can see what I'm doing is dang near impossible. But what I'm doing is rocking the cylinder forward and popping the intake boot off of it with a screwing iron. Oh, come on there, you rascal. Right, one of the screws fell down in the middle and went down underneath the gas tank. Why? Because of course it did. I see it. And I know it ain't gonna fall out. Because there we go. I'm surprised. Well, at least the main thing is I got it out of there. That's what I wanted. Because a lot of times if I leave them in there, they just don't do well. I mean, this cylinder does not look good at all. And I don't know why that is. Other than running it with crank bearing out of it, it kind of scooched up the piston a little bit. We're gonna change it. We're gonna change it. Put an OEM top end on it, and hopefully it'll run just fine when I'm done. Pistons out of there. And I ain't trying to make this take no longer than I have to either, y'all, so just have to bear with me. We're going to change it quickly as possible. A little bit of sealer out of there. Alright, I'm going to clean this sealer up and I'll bring you back. Alright, I got the sealer cleaned off. So we're going to go ahead and start sticking the other piston and stuff back on it. Sit here and I thought about it and I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to pull the carburetor off. So I went ahead and snatched the carburetor off of it to aid with putting the intake boot back on. Only bad thing about the used wrist cam, sometimes they don't want to go that last little bit. For whatever reason, this piston had a ton of carbon on it. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of oil they were using, but it was really sooty. It was really sooty oil. Just light little tappy tap taps. Just light little tappy tap tap. Oh. Yep. I don't even remember what I was telling y'all. I think I was telling y'all we fixed the barber saw this morning, so I took it back and got my hair cut. I actually had all of them cut, but you know, nonetheless, y'all are not paying attention to what I'm actually doing. I seen y'all. Oh, I should have put the gasket on there before I put the piston on. Whoops. I think I can actually get it over it. It's just more fun if you put it on there to start with. I'm going to put a little sealer around that thing. I guess I could put it on the gasket and set it down in there. You got to get it just right, or it doesn't like to cooperate. We're just going to put a little skim all the way around it. I'm going to hold it where it belongs. I know. It looks like I'm just slopping it on there. Well, you'd be right. I am. But by the time I get it all spread out, there's just going to be a light coat on it. See? It's just a light coat after we get it smeared on there. I don't really like to run base gaskets a lot of times, but on these steels, a lot of times if you don't put a head gasket on it and you don't cut the combustion chamber, it'll hit the piston. Alright, now the intake boot is on. Here is the cylinder. I've already cleaned the cylinder up. It does have a block off plug in it. And I may switch it after I get it bolted on there. This cylinder was actually in real good shape. It was just really cruddy. I don't know what they used for oil, but it was nasty. All kinds of nasty. So I'm gonna bet the ring squeezer was off. Put the ring squeezer around the rings. See if we can slip him down on there. Oh yeah. See, y'all almost let me forget what I was doing. Remember, if you don't put the bolts in here, you can't get them in after you put the cylinder on. It ain't like a Husky. The Husky, you drop the bolts down through the holes of steel. The holes are too small. So if you don't put them in there as you're putting it together, then when you get done, you bolts won't fit in the holes. So let's go on and do that now before we set her down all the way and get the intake boot on and everything. And go, hey, we can't put the bolts in. Then we have to laugh. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to reach back in here, pull this intake boot back a little bit. See if I can't get the intake to flop up on there, something like that. And we'll reach down through here and then get all 4 bolts started. And we did. So now, there is no possible way for me to show y'all what I'm doing, but the intake boot is sort of on there. I'm just taking my screwdriver with the flat edge and just pushing against the boot. Don't use the sharp edge. You stop a hole in the intake. One of the reasons why I like these round electrician screwdrivers. I'm using this part of the screwdriver, not the tip. Up. Oh, I'll put the gas cap on. There we go. I guess y'all can see it's on there now. You can see it's on there, but you didn't see me get it on there. I'm sorry. Y'all, some of this stuff, it's so hard for me to see. The showing y'all is almost impossible. Because I can see it in the camera, but I can't see it. Now what I'm going to do is take that little hook and pull the intake boot up there where I can get the screwdriver to it. Then just lay it in there light, real light, and just tighten her up. Yeah, I dumped some on the table. Hold on, I'm going to loosen that back up. I'm going to slide that intake boot a little closer to the cylinder. There we go. I like to have the intake right up as close to the cylinder as I can get it. I'm still trying to let y'all see it, but it's almost a negative. That's where we're gonna go. I guess while I got it facing here, I could go ahead and throw the muffler on it. And then we'll turn it around and put the carburetor back on it, then we'll be ready to fire it up. See if she'll run. Now, one thing I tell people, before you bolt the muffler on, before you tighten the muffler down, I actually snugged it a little tighter than I wanted. before you tighten the muffler down, start these two long bolts. But y'all get over here where y'all can see. Start these two bolts before you tighten these up. That way them holes line up most of the time. Now, there you have it. Now let's stick the carburetor back on here right quick. Gotta put this. See, it's a little bit easier to move that intake boot around if you got the carburetor off. That fuel line goes in that slot. Put her back in there like that. Put that on there if you've got one. Some of them have them and some of them don't. There you go. Push your rubber hickey back through here. It's easier to do it while you got the side cover off, because you can actually tell whether you're getting it in place or not. Or switch. There we go. Hopefully this time she'll run. It run before, it just did not run right. It struggled and fluttered and I don't know. There's a new spark plug. We're going to put the new plug in it. Well, maybe. Let's see. I'm putting the decomp back in it. You know what? Let's put the top cover on. It's going to run this time. We'll go ahead and get this on there before we put all that other stuff on. That way, if it does crank and run like it ought to, we'll be done with it when we're done with it. And we won't have to back up and do it again. Agreed? Agreed. I'm glad y'all agree. I know half the time y'all can't see what I'm doing. Half the time I can't see what I'm doing either, so that makes us pretty even. Alright, there's that. Now we're going to put the top panel on it. Yeah, I had to make the screws for this top panel years ago when I built this saw first time. I think the gas tank holes were stripped. I think that's what it was. So I went to the store and I found these screws, these concrete anchor screws. And they were the right size for the stripped holes. So I put them in there. And they actually worked pretty well. I had to cut some of them off. Alright. Now, I'm going to put a little go-go juice in there. Say, Lord, please let this thing run right. Put a little go-go juice in it. I have no idea what the screws are set on the carburetor, because I have twisted and twisted and twisted on trying to get it to run. And it just would not cooperate. Now, all right, here goes something. It definitely would not do that before. It wouldn't set and run, I can tell you that. If you didn't have the throttle pulled, it wouldn't stay. So that's good. All right, we got some work left to do, so we'll get some things done. Maybe you get to see a cutting video with this one. I still got to do the 372, and we'll probably take the Wild Thing, do a little more cutting with it just for fun, because I like playing with it. All right, y'all. Don't forget, today is John Bob Millwright's birthday. I don't know whether he wants me to tell you his real name or not, but it's Jonathan Riddle. So if you didn't know, now you do. All right, y'all. Don't forget, there's a link in our description for the Bellhopper merchandise if you want to go check that out. Talk to Indiana Doug. We're probably going to try to do some Wild Thing stuff, maybe. Don't know. So maybe somebody will like it. Maybe they won't. I think they will. I really like the Wild Thing myself. But anyway, don't forget, John Bob's birthday, apparel in the description below. Shameless merch plugs, of course. But y'all have a good day. Stay safe, be kind, treat each other the way you want to be treated. God bless. And Bellhopper out.